Hello everyone, welcome back to I Create For You. We're going to do the rest of those mammoth stories in the Yellowstone Ghost Stories book. And look, my nails are finished. Yaha! Okay, let's see where we're at. Okay, so these are our mammoth spirits. It had 4 stories in. We did the first 2 and now we're going on to the last 2. And then I will do a sketch. The House That Hiram Haunts. Hiram Martin Chittenden is considered to be one of Yellowstone's most remarkable figures. Assigned to the Army Corps of Engineers, he spent 2 tours of duty in Yellowstone. In 1891, as a lieutenant, he was placed in direct charge of the construction and maintenance of roads and bridges. Like many, he fell under Yellowstone's magical spell. On his second tour of duty in 1899, he was assigned the post of engineer officer. Chittenden was delighted to be back in Yellowstone. This was his favorite station and the place where he and his family were the happiest. Each spring they looked forward to returning to clean air and spectacular scenery. In 1902, given a bigger budget, Chittenden turned his attention to buildings and offices, including a new mess house and a brand new home for himself. Chittenden's house was built just east of the Mammoth Hot Springs Hotel. Being of wood construction, the house was simple in design and Chittenden loved it. He spent many hours at his desk reading, writing, and pondering the future of Yellowstone while enjoying his favorite cigars. After the 1905 season, Chittenden returned to his winter home in Sioux City and was later stationed in the Northwest. He died in 1917, never returning to Yellowstone, at least not alive. Since his death, however, he has returned to his beloved Yellowstone and to his home many times. The Chittenden home is now occupied by the offices of Yellowstone Forever and the Yellowstone Institute. For a while, Chittenden showed no signs of his presence. Recently, however, he has become very obvious. He often fiddles with computers in the office and flickers the lights. The staff sometimes find that he randomly opens and closes doors. One staff member related that late one evening when he returned to the building to pick up something he had left, as he ascended the stairs, the office door opened for him, an inviting gesture on Hiram's part. It's probably Hiram. I'm saying it wrong. Sorry about that. The most conclusive evidence of Hiram's presence is the aroma of his cigar. The smell permeates his old house, especially upstairs in the Yellowstone Institute offices, which were once the bedrooms. The smell ordinarily would not cause attention, but smoking in public buildings has been prohibited for many years. What a perfect place for Hiram to haunt. But why has he come back? Before he died, Chittenden confided that he only regretted not accomplishing more while posted in Yellowstone. Now he returns as a seasoned mentor, a guardian spirit for those who seek his inspiration and guidance. The poet Henry Wordsworth Longfellow said it best when he wrote, "All houses in which men have lived and died are haunted houses. Through the open doors, the harmless phantoms on their errands glide with feet that make no sound upon the floors." Okay, the second story. Chills at the Hamilton Store. The Hamilton Store holds a prominent place in Mammoth's history. As one of the oldest buildings in the village, it holds within its walls more than 100 years of spirits. The specter in this story was discovered almost 2 decades ago and quite by accident, but it still remains quite active. While I was researching another story in the West Thumb area, an employee working at the Hamilton store in Grant Village shared an experience his friend had while she was working at the Hamilton store in Mammoth. It was the summer of 1983, and this particular employee had been working as a clerk for most of the season. One evening, just after closing, she went upstairs to the storage room to get some items to restock the shelves. Suddenly she heard quick strong footsteps, and the rustling of a long dress and petticoats. The footsteps came up the stairs and down an aisle closer to her. Just as the footsteps stopped, a hand touched her, but as she turned, no one was there. She kept the experience to herself until overhearing another employee telling of a similar encounter. Both employees shared their experiences with each other and agreed they had been visited by the same spirit. It started with footsteps up the stairs, then the rustling of a long skirt and petticoats, and finally the touch of a hand. Who is this spirit that visits the upstairs storage room? Why does it come and what does it want? The strong footsteps suggest an adult, and the rustling of a dress with petticoats make it a woman from the late 1800s when long dresses were in fashion. But who? There are 4 likely candidates. G. L. Henderson's 4 daughters. In the spring of 1882, Henderson, a widower, came to the park with his son and 4 daughters. Barbara G. Henderson, or Lily, as she was known by her family, was appointed postmistress of the park in July. In 1896, about the same time that the store was built, Lily married Alex Lyle. He was a building contractor and probably played an active role in the building of the store along with Lily's father. Alex and Lily ran the store and later entered into partnership with Lily's sister, Jenny Henderson. Well, his sister's name is Jenny Henderson Ash, to operate other stores at various points in the park. Because the store was part of the Henderson-Lyle enterprise, and because Henderson had 4 daughters, our spirit could really be any one of them. But our instincts tell us it is Lily, who busily sashays through the store, putting things in place, dusting and looking over shoulders of visitors, who also hear the footsteps and petticoats and feel her touch, only to turn and see no one. Yes, it's Lily, the original storekeeper, who is greeting visitors and following the staff to make sure that everything in her store is in its proper place. Okay, now let me see if I can come up with maybe Lily. Only she's going to be a little bit scary. I'll start with her dress. That was a nice set of stories. Sort of get an insight as to the people who cared for and lived in Yellowstone back in the day. I'm not gonna zoom in because I think you can pretty well see this, so. And then when I get too involved in this, sometimes I forget that you guys are zoomed in, and then I forget to move the paper, and then you see nothing but you hear scribbles. So if I stay outwards this time, maybe it won't be so bad. Okay, I want to make this a dark dress. You guys know what's coming next, don't you? The magic shader. Blender. That's what it is. Blender. Okay. Dun dun dun. Do you ever wonder how, maybe some of you know, how we changed like our styles of dress so much? who thinks of these outfits that they wore back in the day and what we wear now? My gosh, I mean, like back in the day when they used to sport these kind of dresses and stuff, I bet you it was much easier to, you know, how do I want to say this? Oh, it was much easier. You're going to be wearing dresses. Now it's just like you get dresses, you get shorts, you get skirts, you got, all kinds of options. I'm probably going to have a little bit of trouble doing her arms. Yes, I am. It's going to be a lot of erasing here. Sorry, folks. I'm just going to make her wearing gloves. And take a shortcut here because the picture that I am going off of the person has gloves, so that'll save me a little bit. And I'm going to make her a little spooky. Not too sure what kind of hairdo she may have had, so we'll see what I can come up with here. So that's another thing, hairstyles. Oh my goodness. Of course, I grew up in the 80s, so I rocked those big hair days. So yeah, I miss the good old 80s hair. I think the hairspray people miss it too. The people who sell hairspray. That was a big time for them. If only we could go back in time. And there's our Lily in her petticoat. A little bit scary, but hey, she's a ghost. And she's rather old, so that's my depiction of her. Alrighty. Glad I could sneak this one in. I had my grandson's birthday party today, so we were a little bit busy. And I just lost track of time yesterday. I just got a short in, but I didn't get too much else done. So, except for my nails, I did get them done. Thank goodness for you guys, because they were horrendous. Okay, so I might go back to the presidents, and I'm gonna take a break for tomorrow and probably just do a short. Maybe I'll take a break tomorrow. It depends on what I got going on. But if not, I will see you back here tomorrow. Please give me a thumbs up and share or comment. I like to see some comments. And subscribe if you haven't. We got all different kinds of stories and other kind of sketchy things going on here. And with that being said, I will see you hopefully in the next one. Bye bye for now. Thanks for stopping by.